Good morning everyone. So let's move on to the next problem in Centroid. Problem number 4. So the question is again the same question. Determine the centroid of the given figure. A figure is given in which you have a semicircle, a rectangle and a triangle. So as you know, with respect to the given axis, so the question is, axis is already given in the question. That means we need to determine the centroid of the figure with respect to the given axis. As you can see, there is an x-axis and y-axis given there. So with the given figure, you can easily understand that only the rectangle and triangle lies in first quadrant, whereas the semicircle, as you can see here, the semicircle is lying in second quadrant. Okay, so the values of semicircle may be the x-axis of semicircle is in second quadrant, which means it becomes negative. So we should be very careful while writing the x distance for semicircle. So let's begin the problem. First you need to mark all the three as 1, second component and third component. This you can mark as G1, the centroid of rectangle, G2, the centroid of triangle, and G3, the centroid of semicircle. Now, so the components, I'll write it down again here. The first component is rectangle, the second component is triangle, and the third component is semicircle. So as you already know, dimensions are all clearly given. So you can find out the area of rectangle. The area is length into breadth. So here length is 6 meter and the breadth is this height. See, here radius is given. Sometimes they may confuse you by not giving every detail properly. So here they have given the radius, which means the diameter of this will be 2 times 2.5. So this diameter will be 2.5 into 2, that is 5 meter. Correct. So if you get this, obviously this is also going to be 5 meter. So length into breadth is 6 into 5, that is 30. You can write the unit in bracket everywhere. This is meter square, this is in meter, this is again in meter, this is in meter cube, and this is in meter cube. Okay, so next we have about the triangle. The area of triangle is half into base into height. So base is 3, so half into 3 into height is again 5. So into 5. Okay, the next we have semicircle. The area of semicircle is half pi r square. Correct. So here r is half pi, r is 2.5. don't make a mistake, don't write 5 because the radius is only 2.5. so you can write 2.5 whole square. So the answers you can find it there, that is half into 3 into 5 is 7.5 and 0.5 into into pi into 2.5 square is 9.81. so this answer is 9.82. you can write. Always best it is you round it to 2 decimals after the decimal point. Okay, now the x distances. So in order to find the x distances, you need the distance from the axis. So from the y-axis. So if for first figure, from y-axis to G1 is a distance you need. That will be your rectangle x distance. Okay, so this distance will be half of 6 meter. So you can write it is 6 by 2. What about y distance for rectangle? Y distance will be the distance from x-axis to G1. Obviously that is total height is 5, so 5 by 2. So everything of a rectangle we have found out. Now next we have the triangle. So I need the distance, triangle x distance means I need distance from this particular axis till the G2. That would be the x distance for triangle. So to find the x distance for triangle, not just this distance you need to add the 6 meter also along with that. Remember, you always need to find the distance with respect to the reference axis. Either given one, or if it's not given, you have to draw your own reference axis. Okay, so this distance will be 6 plus, and you already know the, for if a right angle triangle you are having this distance I hope you can see, right? Yeah, this distance b by 3 is this distance, so b is 3 meter. See, b is 3 meter, so you will get 3 divided by 3, correct? B by 3, so 3 by 3. Okay, and what about the y distance? Y distance is a distance from this x-axis to G2. That will be the y distance for the triangle. So that distance, you can see it is, as you can refer this figure, it is h by 3. So the total height is 5. So you can write it as 5 by 3. Now that is done. Now next you have of the semicircle. This you should be very careful about semicircle. For semicircle, the distance here is, x distance will be the distance from this y-axis to this G3. Okay, distance from y-axis to G3, but it is going to the negative side, correct? It is going to the second quadrant. X distance is going to the second quadrant, so you need to put a negative symbol whatever the distance may be. So this distance, and the triangle is not, the semicircle is not kept as usual. So you can see here, see, your semicircle is like this kept, but this is rotated 90 degree and it is kept here, correct? So this distance is your y distance, correct? And that when you rotate this particular figure, and keep, you have it like this, correct? So this y distance becomes the x distance. Is it proper? See, when you have it like this, this is your y distance, and when you rotate it like this, the y distance becomes the x distance, and the x distance becomes the y distance. So it's just becoming opposite. So as you know, here the y distance was 4r by 3 pi, that will become the x distance now, so it is 4r by 3 pi. So I'm going to write here minus 4, r is 2.5 divided by 3 pi. So I hope you know why it is minus and why we have taken it opposite, because it has just being rotated by 90 degree. So the y bar becomes x bar and x bar becomes y bar. Okay, now what about the y distance? Y distance doesn't have any problem, right? This is the distance from here to the G3. Okay, so that doesn't have any problem because it is going to the positive y-axis only, that is in the first quadrant. So it is again the same distance like the rectangle, half of this distance, that is diameter is 5, so 5 by 2, like it's same as like the rectangle only. Okay, now you can find the answers here. This is 3, this is 2.5, this is 6 plus 1 7, this is again 2.5, and this answer I'll be finding out. Okay, it is 5 divided by 3 is 1.67. This is 2.5 divided by 3 pi, that is 1.06, but negative. Okay, so you got all the answers there. Now just you have to multiply and find out the value of ax, ay and everything. So I'll just write the answers directly. Okay, so when you have here, you have to multiply first 30 into 3, you know, obviously it is 90, and then you have to multiply 7.5 into 7, and you know the answer is 52.5. Then you need to multiply 9.82 into 1.06, but it is negative. Okay, so you have to write negative 10.40. I want all of you to check the answers whether it's correct. Okay, 30 into 2.5, so this one I am doing, this one, so the answer is 75. Next answer is 7.5 into 1.67. I hope I'm doing it correct. Yeah, 12.53. Okay, then last one you have 9.82 into 2.5, that is 24.55. So I got all the answers, all the AX and all the AY and all the area. Now I just need to find the total or summation of all this. So now I hope you can see, correct? Yeah. So I'll be finding it here, sigma A, sigma AX and sigma AY. Then only we can proceed with the problem. Okay, so sigma A is going to be, you can see here, is 30 plus 7.5 plus 9.82. Area is a positive figure, so you're not supposed to write, even though it's going to second quadrant, anywhere negative. Okay, so be careful. So the answer is 47.32. Now sigma AX I'll be doing 90 plus 52.5. You find out first, minus 10.4, correct? Yeah, minus 10.4, that is 132.1. hope you can see. Yeah, now last one we have this 75 plus 12.53 plus 24.55. okay, that is 112.08. so you got the answer for AX, AY and sigma A. Now what is our next step? Obviously the next step is x bar is equal to, okay, you cannot see, okay, x bar is equal to sigma AX by sigma A. So in order to find x bar, sigma AX is 132.1 divided by 47.32. so if you do that, you will get the answer 132.1 divided by 47.32. you get the answer is 2.79 meter. Now same way you can find y bar. Y bar is sigma AY by sigma A. So the AY you already know, it is 112.08 divided by 47.32. so your answer is 112.08 divided by 47.32, and that will be 2.36 meter, or you can write 37 meter since you are rounding it to 2 decimals. Okay, so we have found x bar and y bar of the whole figure. The only thing you need to note here is the semicircle is going to second quadrant, so the x distance of semicircle is becoming negative and y distance in second quadrant is positive only, so it is still positive. That is why here when you are doing summation, you have to consider the negative sign. There is no change in area or anything else, only in the x distance, and directly you have found. So the last sentence you can write here is, therefore centroid of the given figure is G x bar comma y bar is equal to G 2.79 comma 2.37. write the meter unit also. So this final sentence if you write, then your answer is complete. I hope it's clear. Do study the formulas by heart, then it will be more easy for you. Thank you.